2, 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Jayden and I'm joined by,
Davis Sterling,
and this is Multi
Media.
Madness.
Ha ha ha.
Awesome. Oh, that actually worked out super well.
Well, there you
High
go.
five, dude.
Woo!
Woo! All right.
For the
So,
win.
this is our second podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Venom movie, mostly done by Davis.
Me, yeah, because I actually saw it. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, I'll see it tonight.
Okay.
I got friends. Okay.
Fair enough.
Then we're gonna be talking about Hearthstone, which is
More
mine.
you, yeah.
More mine. And then of course we have Black Ops 4, which we
We
both.
A little bit. We have neither of us have played it yet, but we
Yeah.
can at least still talk about reviews and stuff of what we've seen.
Yeah.
At least, so.
Yeah. It's so far it looks like a banger, but we're not getting into
Not
that
not
right
that
now.
yet. That's gonna be at the
Yeah.
end.
So we're talking about Venom. So you saw Venom.
Yes. Okay. So it was better than I thought it was gonna be, but it still was not that great. Like.
Did a large part of it have to do with story?
Yeah, okay. They wanted to actually make it a bit of a story because they didn't want to be just here's monster bashing boom boom boom, but it had very the same cut and paste. Like here's your chase down the highway scene, black, but they changed it a little bit. Like this is okay. This is a spoiler-free review, so I'm not gonna really get into too much detail. But there's a lot of stuff that's like they just introduce random pieces into it, like for no they don't make sense and they were trying to make it Venom without Spider-Man, but having a little bit of Spider-Man influence to it.
Which
So like, so like the way Venom moves, there's no web swinging, but his arm kind of swings out, and he'll kind of swing in a way that Spider-Man would or something.
wait, so it's kind of like a. I feel like that relates heavily to like Sandman kind of thing, or like shoot, I don't know. Spider-Man is.
Honestly, it reminded me. Have you seen the game's prototype? Where he gets like big alien arms or whatever. I think it was old PS3 game, something like that. But
No, I don't.
anyway, but it's literally so prototype was a game that came out, but anyway, that's a completely different topic. So um yeah, I liked how they had the character development with actual Eddie Brock. He was pretty true, but to the comic of what I could remember, Venom and I'm just gonna say the villain, so that I don't actually ruin who the villain is.
Yeah.
Was they were really well animated, like it looked really good. But there was one scene. Oh my god, this is the this is the movie like critic in me. It's they use the
Like the
scream.
Wilhelm
That's
scream.
yeah, they use that. They
of-
use that scream, and it's like really like do you, like but that so the action sequence that scream happens is really good. It's a good choreographed fight scene, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for me personally, it throws it off because they throw that in there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I hate how many times that sound is used.
That Wilhelm scream.
Oh my god.
Okay, like it's a decent scream, but it's honestly a joke at this point. If you put that in a comedy movie, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
You can't put that in something that's actually trying to prove something.
Yeah.
Like it was, I don't know. I feel like Venom was, it's trying to prove that you can create a backstory without having Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are like references to. There's kind of references to Spider-Man a little bit because Eddie Brock used to work for the Daily Bugle or whatever,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man works for the Daily Bugle. Like that's how it's kind of connected, but it's not connected to the MCU. So, but that's been happening for a long
Wait.
time.
So wait.
Because there's different versions. There's the so Sony still technically owns Spider-Man, right? But
Yep.
he's incorporated into the MCU with
Yeah.
Marvel, and that's Disney. And then there's Sony, which is like basically just Spider-Man right now. And then there's Fox, which is Fantastic Four and X-Men. But Disney, Marvel bought back the rights. I don't know if the deal is completed yet, but so anytime it's a Marvel quote unquote movie, but it's not with the MCU, so it's just with their property.
That's,
But yet Stanley was still in it as a cameo.
the,
It's a whole it's a weird
it's a huge like misplay on the universe.
yeah, exactly.
It's like you can't stick to one thing.
it's
well they can't stick to one thing. You have to stick to one universe. You
yeah,
have to have a clearly defined universe.
it doesn't work. Well, that's a whole other thing too. It's because of Marvel got bankrupt in the 90s, so they had to sell some of the properties, and that's what happened basically,
Yeah.
right? But and now I know that there was a rumor that it was supposed to be rated R. It wasn't rated R in theaters, but I'm thinking they might have a rated R version released
Yeah.
on DVD Blu-ray when it comes out.
I can imagine Venom being very violent and it being very grotesque.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely some parts where like even just in the trailer you know this, so it's like he literally eats people, like he
Yeah.
bites off people's heads and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, the 14A version is just cuts, and then it kind of cuts away from the guy getting tossed to the side or something like that. But I think there's supposed to be a rated R version where it's gonna actually show like the blood coming out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about without getting into spoilers though.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But yeah, it definitely was very like cut and paste. Like this is what you're doing, this is where you're going. This happens because of this.
Yeah.
Like
And I would like to say, like, even being film students, we can see that from like a mile away. But do you think a regular moviegoer would see that, or they would just see and be like, "Oh, this is a cool action"?
it depends. Well, some parts they'd be like, well, this is good. It was exciting because like it's, but um, there are some things like the reason why his girlfriend breaks up with him is just ridiculous in my mind. But um, which is a little spoilery, sorry, but
Ooh.
whatever. That's
You've-
it's at the, it's
you've
at the
made, you've
it's
made the viewers angry.
the what 0 viewers that we have right now.
One.
One. Okay, there we go.
Shout out to you, one viewer.
Yeah, the one person.
The one, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, um.
Davis just like finger gunned me.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, that sounds so weird.
Yeah.
What was I going with this? But for regular viewers, yeah, it's entertaining. That's why I said it was better than I thought it was gonna be. But it like if you want to throw up the score there that
Yeah.
Rotten Tomatoes had, what was it?
Yeah. So here's the score. Here's the Venom movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So audiences gave it 88%. Out of 28,000 people, 88% liked it.
Yeah.
And out of reviews, only 31% did.
See, I understand that. It's definitely not the worst movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Like there are movies with lower scores for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, 88% fan liked. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it is very like sit down, turn your brain off. Like this is a just smash 'em up type of movie. So yeah.
But I also want you guys to like look at this. So here's the top box office right now. Here's what people are saying. Like here are the reviews for it, and then look at how much they made. $35 million. It's a garbage movie, but it's still making a shit ton of money just because it's based off of MCU.
Yeah, exactly. It's based off yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that The Nun did not sell very well because that was a pretty garbage movie I could go into.
It would have that got released in the wrong time. They should have waited till closer to the end of October, and they would have gotten better with that. I think.
Yeah, actually, Halloween comes out October 19th, like the Michael Myers movie.
Yeah.
Which is pretty interesting. I would
The
probably see
remake,
it.
the continuation. It's a continuation. Yeah.
Exactly right. So
Well,
that's that.
I don't know. It was like I said. It was good. It wasn't the best movie in the world, but it definitely wasn't the worst either. So it was okay. It's a good. It's the same idea as like the first Transformers movie or the Transformers movies in general. Like that's just no major plot. Just okay. They're trying to make something out of what they can and get something out of it. So yeah, it was good. It was good enough to like, yeah.
So would you say this is something that you would not pay to see, but if it was on something like Netflix, you'd be like,
I'd watch it. Yeah, exactly. I'd probably watch it again on Netflix or something. But I also don't pay for my Netflix either. So
there you go.
So it would be free regardless. Yeah, I didn't pay to see it.
No.
My buddy paid for me. So
Hey.
yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's that basically. I don't know anything else to really get into it without going into spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. You're gonna have to explain
Okay.
what's up.
Sorry. Anyway, yeah. So, if you want to go see it, I still recommend going to see it if it's something that interests you. If you like the kind of like turn your brain off, no major plot type of movies, because it's definitely like a good, I don't know, almost 2 hour long movie. And then there's still the Marvel end credit scene that any Marvel movie has. Then the end credits scene just still adds more anticipation for the next movie coming up too. So,
Yeah.
with again, without getting into spoilers for what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that, but
Yeah.
if it has spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to excuse me for the interruption. Being sick, not very fun. It's been going on for like 2 weeks. I'm sure everyone at the school here is now sick,
I'm not.
except you. You're
Yeah.
somehow immune to everything.
Vitamins. Vitamins.
Vitamin, yeah.
Yeah.
Started chowing those suckers down now.
But yeah,
Anyway,
so that's that. Do we want to go into what you were going into, Hearthstone or?
Hearthstone, yeah. Okay, so big news before we get in. So, for those of you guys who don't know, there's a collegiate tournament going on by these guys called TESPA. They're a nonprofit organization meant on giving esports scholarships to kids in college. So there's a huge tournament going on right now for Hearthstone, and I'm the captain of the Nate team. And we actually just got our first win yesterday.
Oh, you got your W.
Yeah, we got our first
There you go.
W.
There's the high
Not
five.
only that, it was a 3-0 stomp. Like,
Nice. 3-0.
No
Nice.
disrespect to University of Irvine. Like, they played super well. They unfortunately got unlucky draws and unlucky matchups.
Okay.
So like, there's a huge. It's like a rock paper scissors kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like we were basically thinking what would they play 1st, and we were able to counter pick them super well.
Yeah.
And it got down to they had the last card in their all the cards they needed in their hands, but they couldn't do anything with
They
it.
couldn't play them.
Yeah, so they did that. Game 2 was we played very aggressive, and it worked out very, very well for us. And then Game 3, we got the luckiest start known to man. By turn 3, which is not very many, he was already down half of his life total. And we were just like, wow, we got so lucky. And then it got to a point where he's like, this is the point where he either recovers or he fails. And unfortunately for him, he was not able to pull it out, and we were able to take the W, the 3-0. I screamed as loud as I could. I was like, fucking let's go! You know? like season's not over. We're 1-2 in the season.
Yeah.
So
there's your first W that you were.
yeah.
You said you were gonna get one last episode,
exactly.
so there you go.
I delivered on my promise.
There you go. You got it.
But yeah, so in Hearthstone news, so they have patches and stuff where they fix problems and they release new expansions and stuff like
Okay.
that. So one of the main problems is cards being super unbalanced. So there's only 3 cards being nerfed. So that you know what nerf
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah. That's like in Yu-Gi-Oh. They got rid of like Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would either reduce like health or attack or mana cost or
Yeah.
something in their text box. So I want to show you guys this. So we're going to go through my presentation that I'm actually making for school, and it's about Hearthstone. So, okay, there we go. So, I actually don't know if that's going to be able to be seen or not. But, anyways, so, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So this is like the basic thing of Hearthstone. You have minions, you have spells, and you have other things in your hand to help you defeat your opponent. There's a bunch of different heroes, lots of different cards, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, each card has its own life total. If it's a minion, it has an attack and health value, and then it has a text box for whatever effect it gives off.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of stuff like that. So that's basically all you really need to know.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to this. So here's the upcoming balance update for October 2018, which has honestly got me pretty excited because it basically doesn't affect me at all.
Oh.
Like, it doesn't affect the decks I play very much. I might need to swap this card out for like one other card, but it's an acceptable loss, right?
Okay.
So this card has been running rampant. You will never not see this card in a deck. It is that good.
Okay.
So this thing basically, its job is to stall out the opponent. So having something that is low health but is impossible to kill in one go is very, very rare. So having 2 of those out just completely stops whatever the opponent has.
Builds a wall.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's a tiny wall, and there are ways around the wall. There's one specific counter to it, but other than that, you basically have to hope for, like, low damaging stuff. So it's getting its mana cost from 5 to 7, which was huge. So now this card I feel like is going to be unplayable. It's too high of a mana cost for what it gives off. It gives off a 4/6 in stats, which at 7 mana is disgusting. Like
What's 4/6 mean?
4/6 is, so when I refer to numbers, it usually means attack then health.
Okay.
So a 4/6 will have 4 attack, 6 health in total.
Yeah.
So sorry, not 4/6, 4/5. So it's a 4/5,
Okay.
which at 7 mana there are so many better options to have.
Okay.
Its effect is unique, but like at this point there's no point in playing it, because if you play this out, next turn your opponent can do something and then play out its counter right away.
Oh, so it's yeah.
So it's basically not going to be useless. They said that they did test this at 6 mana, which I thought was where they were going to go with it, because then it would make some decks that focus on only having odd cost cards like unviable, but it would also make even cost decks more viable.
Yeah.
But what do they say? We felt that its power was still too high. Like, that's how strong this card is
Okay.
at the moment.
Just super OP.
Yeah, super OP. It's basically like, have you ever played Black Ops 2?
But yeah.
So there's a gun in there called the KSG. It's a one-shot shotgun.
Yeah.
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 That, like, it's that level of OP.
Yeah.
Just imagine if the KSG could, like, you could shoot basically anywhere towards the person and it just magnetically hit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's how
no,
disgusting.
that was that, or the M16, or no, it was shotguns. Yeah, it was dual wield shotguns or something like that.
Oh, I know from Modern Warfare 2, like,
Yeah, the ones you could flip and yeah.
yeah. Oh
What
my god.
If you know the gun we're talking about, let us know.
Yeah, put it in the comments.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
Like, we need a
we're
refresh.
struggling. Yeah, it's been a while,
Yeah.
but it's super OP.
I want to say Thumper, but Thumper's the grenade launcher.
No, yeah,
It's like I don't know. It'll come back to us. Our
Yeah, of
subconscious will
course.
kick in. Anyways, so then we have Mana Worm, which is a mage only card, so only mage class can use this card.
mhm,
So 1 mana 1/3 is pretty good, and then whenever you cast a spell, you gain +1 attack.
okay,
So having a 1 mana 2/3 on the board is huge, especially if it doesn't have drawbacks.
okay,
So
yeah,
this card was absolutely gross to play in some mage decks, because especially now there's one called Tempo Mage, where the whole point of your deck is to be as aggressive as possible, pump out as much damage as you can as fast as you can, so you run through your entire deck. And this card, if you played it on turn 1, I think it was somewhere around like 75% of the time you would win the game instantly, because there's nothing you can do to stop it.
wow.
Like,
So
can-
they're getting rid of, like, making it more difficult to play this on turn 1, or
yeah, so they upped the mana cost to 2, which is actually super nice. So you have to coin. You can, if it's at turn 1, if you coin it out, it's a 2 mana 1/3, and there are plenty of 2 mana cards that can deal with that right away.
yeah,
Like there's specific mage spells. I know there are priest spells and stuff like that. So it'll stay a 1/3, but it still can be played, but it's not good enough to be played.
okay,
Not at this moment in time. I was expecting it to change the health total, so it would be 1 to 2, 1/2. So then it's easier to kill off.
mhm,
But I guess that wasn't enough for it. So now they bumped it up to 2, because they still like it. Like, it's still an awesome effect, and I still love the card. But it's now going to be so much harder to play, and it's no longer, oh, he played this out, he instantly won the match.
yeah,
It's, oh, he played this out, I can potentially deal or stall this
yeah,
for a bit. So Tempo Mage now needs needs to look at its deck list and just be like, what can we replace with Mana Worm? Honestly, there's not much. So there's like one card, it's every time you cast a spell you gain +2 attack this turn,
okay,
which
Yeah.
is, you can combo that in. If you have a bunch of low cost spells, you play that. Let's say you have 10 spells in your deck, 10 times 2 is 20. It has 1 attack value already, so you're dealing 21 damage in 1 hit.
oh yeah,
But that's a very unlikely situation where you unload your entire hand.
okay.
So
Yeah, there's combos like that in Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. I remember too. There, like,
Yeah.
you'd have a specific magic that like a not magic, because you can't say magic, a specific spell card that would do, like, add counters, and for every counter you'd have a different token or something like that, and then every token you have, you would take a token off and you would have different attack power or something like that.
Yeah.
Same general idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got the idea.
Yeah, that's the best way I can kind of link it because that's what I used to play with Yu-Gi-Oh. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Hearthstone is basically Yu-Gi-Oh except way less complicated, I feel.
less complicated.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know, like I don't know. I just find it super simplistic.
oh,
I look at a Yu-Gi-Oh card and it's like 4800 attack, 3200 defense, like 5 stars. Here's the picture, and then it's like a fucking wall of text. Meanwhile, this next card, Aviana, 9 mana 5/5. Your minions cost 1.
oh,
So, yeah,
very
like that
basic. Okay,
basic,
yeah.
yeah, very basic. There's like specific cards that have lots of different interactions,
Hmm.
but we won't get into that too part. That could be like its own excuse me, its own podcast on its own.
Okay.
Okay. So anyways, so Aviana is a broken card in the wild format. So in Hearthstone there's two formats. There's standard, which is competitive, and wild, which is more fun.
Okay.
Standard has restrictions on cards you can use, wild does not.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
yeah. So every couple of expansions they'll rotate out and go to wild. This is one of them, and this card combined with another card which is called Kun the Forgotten King, its effect is you either gain 10 armor or you gain 10 mana crystals. So what you would do is you would play Aviana, you would play Kun, gain back all those mana crystals, then you would play whatever else you wanted to play that turn. So
Mhm.
you wanted to play like a high damage combo, you have no repercussions for doing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was super easy to get off and it was terrorizing wild, but now they've upped it from 9 mana to 10. So you can still do the combo. You would just need either a 0 cost spell that gives you a mana crystal, or you need to be lucky enough that the opponent can't deal with a 5/5, which is not very hard. There are
Okay.
so many spells, there are so many minions that can deal with it. So this card, like, it's a huge nerf, but it's such a good nerf. Now, because one deck that I've been seeing a lot of is called Star Aligner. So basically, you just play a couple minions and then you deal 7 damage to everything. So you deal 7
Boom,
damage.
boom, 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 boom. Just wipe.
Yeah, exactly. So board clears, it deals damage to their face. So you could get off technically, I want to say like 35 damage in one turn
Oh.
with minimal setup. Like most other combos will take a huge amount of setup to
Yeah.
do. Like there's an infinite damage combo deck, like it's called Exodia Mage, where you basically play 5 minions, and you will get infinite 6 damage spells, and you can like at that point it's over, right?
That's just like the original Exodia from Yu-Gi-Oh. Was
Yeah.
literally used to be the just ultimately. Actually, I think it still applies. If you just win the game if you get all
Yeah.
5 cards.
That's exactly
Same.
what it
That's
is.
same idea.
Yeah, that's a lot of logic behind a bunch of these decks, especially the Aviana deck. The
Yeah.
Aviana deck is like, as long as you have it in your hand and they don't have something that can counter it instantly, you win.
You win. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a huge nerf that honestly I'm not too interested in because I'm not a wild player. I'm a standard player, but it's super nice for those who are just playing wild,
Mm-hmm.
and any of those who have this card will also get refunded the dust. So I think I might have this. I don't think I have this card anymore, but if you had this card, you can disenchant it, and you can get dust for it to create new cards.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's super nice, and yeah, that's about that.
That's what you wanted to
Yeah,
bring up.
yeah. Sorry, that took a while.
Nah, whatever. That's what one of the main topics was. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah, but yeah, it's such huge news because that means the meta is now shifting. So now new decks will come into play. Some decks will get stronger. A couple decks are gonna get weaker now.
It's definitely making me interested in one to actually kind of start playing it
Like,
because I've never have played it, and if it's
It's free to play.
yeah, if you said it's the same idea as like Yu-Gi-Oh, I used to love Yu-Gi-Oh as a kid, so that's why because like I was trying to find something other than Yu-Gi-Oh to play, because so this I guess, or Magic
Yeah.
the Gathering, and Magic the Gathering seems very complicated, so this seems like something that would be a little easier to get into.
Yeah, Magic is like there's different types of mana crystals. There's like 8 billion different races and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Same with there's a new game called Artifact coming out, and it's like Hearthstone, but imagine having 3 of those boards that you have to manage at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And it looks so fucking annoying, and I was like, I'm not touching this game. I might give it a try, but there's no way I can dedicate my time into
No.
this. Like it's so complex. And the thing about Hearthstone is it's silly and it's fun still.
What do you play Hearthstone on? Like,
You can play it on PC mostly, but you can
yeah.
also do it on mobile. So there's like iPhones, tablets, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
Like that's why I have this phone, the Razer phone. Shout out to Razer, awesome company. They made their own gaming phone, and I was like,
A
I
pho-
play Hearthstone enough, and I need a new phone anyways. I might as well get the Razer
Yeah.
phone, right?
So what I would do is I would probably put it on my phone and then cast my phone onto my TV. Do it that way.
I Can you do that
Yeah, Chromecast
with anything?
with yeah, on and
That's
with Android, not with iPhone, but with Android. Yeah,
Oh yeah, Android. Android is
Android's
superior.
a lot better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We've had this discussion a lot, especially in our digital suite technology class. We work in the Mac lab, and we're not fans of it because I'm not a huge Mac guy. I'm not a huge Apple person because I
No.
think Apple's overrated
Yeah.
for the
It's
price you pay.
you're buying the brand. It's like Under Armour or something like you're buying the brand. Like
It's like buying a Louis Vuitton purse.
yeah,
It might cost $5,000,
but
but
it doesn't.
guaranteed you can go to like I don't know what's a good store. You can go to J.C. Penney and find the exact same purse for
That,
$50
yeah,
without
exactly.
the Louis Vuitton tag.
Exactly.
Yeah. I've had a unfortunate run in with some of those people. It's like, oh, it's worth the money. It's like, is it really
Yeah.
worth the money? It's
Or
like,
or
I,
like my experience at Marks, we have so Denver Haynes is Marks' brand, right? And
yeah,
they'll have really good quality. There's ones they'll have jeans with like extra linings, extra stretch, blah blah blah, and they're like $80. Or there's the silver or buffalo jeans that are 110, 120 that are just jeans and they just have the buffalo logo, the brand on it. It's nothing special about it. It's like, are you like
really, that's super dumb.
so dumb. Like
Yeah,
I don't get why companies do that, but it's just to be rich to be rich.
yeah. All right, we're coming close on our time. We got about 3 minutes left.
Ooh, wow.
So
That took a lot
let's
longer than
let's jump into Black Ops 4. We don't really have much to talk about in this.
not majorly because yeah, again, we haven't played it yet. So, but I was watching some videos online. It does look very similar, the same multiplayer, same idea as any other Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
The exact same, like the multiplayer is gonna be the same regardless.
yeah.
It does look fun. Like the weapons in it that I saw look not as cheap. Like
No.
it doesn't look like there's gonna be so many like spray and pray weapons. Like it's gonna take a little bit more accuracy, a little bit more like, and it showed that your health is a little higher. So you have 150 health instead of the normal 100,
Yeah.
I think. So, but there is still I don't remember what he called it in the trailer, but it's the same idea as like the Juggernaut perk from Call of Duty 4, where you just have that extra health and
Yeah.
that extra little bit of armor. I think it's literally called armor.
Yeah.
So when you're doing like a battle between someone, you're fighting someone, and you literally get all hit markers, and then they kill you because you get they have that extra perk.
Yeah.
It gets really annoying.
Yeah.
Like
I played the beta on Xbox.
yeah,
I played the like it was just Blackout, right? But
yeah.
Blackout I genuinely think is better than PUBG. Will say that without a doubt. I'm sorry to anybody who's like a PUBG fanboy, but Blackout is 1,000 times better because it's 1,000 times smoother, and it's like it's
Is
constant.
is Blackout gonna be free to play?
I don't believe so. You still have to buy the
You
game
still have to buy.
itself.
Oh, you still have to buy Black Ops to
Yeah,
get Blackout. Okay.
yeah. But it's a lot of fun. Like there's guns literally everywhere. There's different types of guns. It automatically applies attachments. The UI is like on PC or sorry, Xbox and PS4. It's a controller interface. It's not very good. Play it on PC if you're going to buy it specifically for Blackout, but other than that, I love the feel of the controller.
Hmm.
So, it's been going Blackout's been a lot of fun. I've seen a decent amount of zombies, and zombies looks just like Black Ops 3. It looks just as incredible. It looks super smooth and fun. There's been like Easter eggs and stuff already discovered. I know for a fact that there's going to be looking for like I don't know if you're familiar with Black Ops Zombies games.
Yeah,
The
I
Cherokee?
remember a couple of them, the older ones. Yeah.
Yeah, so like you know how they have those big Easter eggs, right? Like on Moon, how it was you had to blow up the Earth, or
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So I know there's gonna be like all of the YouTubers and streamers right now. They've kind of like, oh, I'm in school. Let's put this to the side because Black Ops is more important. So they're live streaming non-stop trying to get this done. Like they want to figure out this chapter.
What the Easter egg is gonna be?
Yeah, because there's 4 maps on release. There is 9, Voyage of Despair, Blood of the Dead, and then the classified one. So they have 4 maps.
Four
to go
maps
through.
on release. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty good. That's definitely better than
Yeah,
what was it? Battlefield, the big EA game that everyone hated because it was just you had to pay for anything.
Battlefield 1.
Battlefield. No, not Battlefield One.
Oh,
Star Wars.
Oh, Battlefront.
Battlefront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2. Yeah, don't
Yeah.
get me started on that.
That everyone hated.
Yeah, there's I was researching for part of one of my projects actually. I was like the business letter assignment we had, and I had to look at it, and I looked. One of EA's Reddit comments had negative 375,000 points. It was the most disliked post on Reddit history. I was like, that's impressive that you guys messed up this
That
badly.
badly that everyone hated it that much.
It was the first line that everyone got upset at. It was like, we wanted to give players a sense of progression. It's like, yeah, but you're locking that sense of progression behind a fucking paywall.
Yeah.
That's not how that works, dude. But so...
Yeah, I played that game for all of 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah. So, that was that.
But yeah, I think I'm probably going to have a little bit more into it come end of November because that's when Black Friday hits, and that's probably when I'm going to get this. Same thing with the new Spider-Man game. Because they're well, it's $60 now for Black Ops and it was $80 for Spider-Man, so they'll probably go down.
Probably half.
I'm hoping half.
Yeah,
I don't want to spend $150, $200 on two games, so I'm gonna hopefully they go down half price come Black Friday, so I can get them. Either that or Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Like I'm poor. I need
You're not in a rush though.
Yeah. They look fun. I'm still I'm still playing Call of Duty 4 remastered for PS4. Like
that's still a good game.
Yeah, it's still fun.
There's such an awesome community.
Yeah,
here.
I was playing pretty like after watching the Black Ops videos, it made me want to go back and play Call of Duty, but I don't. That's the only version of Call of Duty for PS4 that I own.
Yeah. Dude, I'm debating getting Black Ops 4 because I want that squad with me. I don't play solo too much. Actually, that's a lie. Black Ops 3, I went super hard on playing solo when people weren't on.
Yeah.
Like I was grinding out zombies games to like max prestige and get all the attachments for my guns.
Yeah.
So honestly, I think if I'm gonna get it, probably now is the best time because then I can start looking towards those ranks or whatever, and then you're ahead of the game.
You in general, you are more of a hardcore gamer than I am anyway.
Oh yeah,
because I'm definitely a casual gamer. Like I play just when I don't feel like watching something new on TV or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I could play a game or something like that. Play something. So yeah, that's why I might actually get into Hearthstone if it's actually gonna be free to play.
Yeah,
find something to do.
Just watch my presentation on Friday, and then it should convince you, and it'll give you the general outline of it.
Yeah.
All right. But I think that's everything for today.
Yeah. If you want to hear more of what we're talking about, then can subscribe.
Yeah. Make sure to leave us your comments in YouTube or send us a tweet on Twitter about what you want us to talk about, or if you have anything to say to us, like fan love. Always appreciate that. Dude.
Appreciate the fan love.
Yeah. Even if you are super angry at us, we're gonna be like, "Aw, thanks,
it's still
dude.
a comment.
It's
yeah.
still a comment. It's constructive criticism." All right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
No,
I think we're good. Yeah.
I think that's it. Awesome.
So long, everyone. See you next week.
Yeah. Peace.